Peace. What's going on, family? Happy 50th to hip hop. And everyone, welcome to another Substantial Weekly. Of course, my name is Substantial. Shout out to all of you in the chat already, man. It's great to see everyone here. Yeah, man. It's dude, it's a crazy time we're living in for a lot of different reasons. Of course, some negative things, but today, man, we're here to celebrate and really get into some of this joy, man, around the culture and stuff. And yeah, man, I'm elated. I'm definitely feeling good today. Grateful to see hip hop make it this long, come this far. It's a blessing, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat already. I appreciate y'all, man. Great to see everybody up in here. Yeah, man. A lot to get into today, man. So much to cover. Not a whole lot of time. We're gonna try to keep it with our usual time today. But man, shout out to everyone. If you haven't said peace yet, please do so. If you haven't liked this video or shared this video on whatever platform you frequent, please do so. Great to see everyone here, man. Hope everyone's well. Shout out to everyone again in the chat. Shout out to my brother Early Bird. Shout out to that guy Frankie. Also shout out to CJ Cully. Peace, fam. Peace. What's going on? Joshua, Malik, C. Cruz. Peace, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining me per usual. Yeah, a lot to get into. Some good things, man. I'm excited to build with y'all today. All right. So first and foremost, let's bring up this joint on the screen. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about it, man. Today, just to give y'all a heads up, some of what's going to happen today. Of course, there's a lot of updates and stuff to let y'all know what's going on with me and the upcoming, not even the upcoming because it's here, to talk about the album some more, of course, answer any questions with that, update y'all on merchandise and the info I've received recently. And yeah, man, we're going to talk about all of that. But first and foremost, man, we're going to talk about hip hop and it turning 50 today. What I basically encourage y'all to do, man, is if you got any fond memories of hip hop, feel free to share them in the chat. I'll go ahead and read them out loud for the folks on a different platform. Shout out to folks joining me right here on YouTube, or if you're joining on Twitch or Facebook, man, shout out to everyone watching. But definitely, man, if you got some great memories to share, please do so. I'm going to go through a few of mine, and it should be a lot of fun, man. Early says, I'm watching the Biz Markie documentary. Dude was the GOAT. Have you seen it yet? I have not. I've heard some things about it. I'm excited to check it out, man. Definitely, Biz Markie, man. I was just looking at one of his vinyl records in the back in my collection, and I was debating which records to pull out. I would have put up my Biz Markie record, but the reason why I didn't, it's not necessarily... If it was a single, and it's not necessarily one of my favorite joints from him, so I was like, yo, I posted it when he passed or whatever to honor him. But yeah, man, I definitely got to see the documentary. But I think what I'm gonna do first and foremost to start things out is we're gonna talk about some of the things up behind me. As we've done in the past, sometimes I make recommendations on books for y'all to check out. And then other times, I just talk about other cool things. But before we jump into some of the specific memories, let's talk about what's up here behind me. So let's go this way first. So y'all have seen this in the background, this piece a few times. I forget the name of the artist, but it's a tribute to Jay Dilla. It not only has a drawing of him up here, but it has all of this elaborate writing that has to do with various parts of his career. Definitely a dope shirt. That's right. Like you see it framed. It was not a piece of, yes, it was a piece of art that just happened to be on a shirt. But when the shirt was getting pretty broke down and I wore it all the time, I eventually retired the shirt and I was like, yo, I'm not throwing the shirt away. It was a gift from my brother, DJ Hive. Shout out to DJ Hive. Clap it up for Hive. But yeah, man, when it got to the point it was too worn, I basically, I copped a nice frame and I just basically cut it down so it was easier to stretch. And after stretching it or whatever, had it like, stuck to the board that's inside of to hold it in place so it could be up on the wall and look real clean. So yeah, man, rest in peace, Jay Dilla. Other stuff I got up here. Let's go over here up top. Of course, we got Nas Illmatic on top of the old school record player and cassette deck up there. Shout out to the great one Nas, who's having one of the greatest streaks in hip hop history right now with all these albums he's been dropping. And then we got some good old literature right there. We got Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I might grab some of this stuff, man, off the joint. Let's see. I remember you talking about that shirt way back on Substantial Sundays. Wow. Yeah. I've had that shirt for a long time. But yeah, man, this book here, let me grab it. This book right here, if you call yourself a hip hop head and you have not read this book, it's required reading. If you're serious about hip hop culture, you're not just a fan of the music, but you're a fan of the various art forms. You're a fan, you're a person who claims to love the culture, and you oftentimes find yourself speaking on the culture and its history. I highly suggest that you read this book. It has a lot of great information and stories, just on how hip hop came to be, and a lot of other things. I'm trying not to give away too much because I just want you to read it on your own. But definitely require reading. For anyone who claims to call himself or claims to be a hip hop head, you need to read this book. All right. Let's keep it going. All right. Back to the wall behind me. So more stuff that we got posted up today in celebration of 50 years of hip hop. We got the classic Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, the debut album of Wu-Tang Clan, arguably one of the greatest. It's not arguably one of the greatest hip hop groups ever assembled. Definitely the greatest. There is no group of that size other than Wu-Tang that I know of. And so salute to these brothers, man. They forever changed the game in a lot of different ways, man. Salute to them. Hey, good morning, Michael Leff. Good to see you up in here. Peace. What's going on? Hello to you. Black on Both Sides. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Yeah, one of the best albums ever made. Easy, 100%. Nas has entered his third prime. It's crazy. Absolutely. All right, so since it was mentioned down there, Black on Both Sides by the legend Mos Def, one of my favorite artists who now goes by Yasin Bey. Definitely salute the mighty Mos. That's what's up. You're a big Wu-Tang fan. I think your name gave it away. But word, I feel you. I'm right there with you. All right. Other albums we got down there. Right under Mos, we got another release that was on Raucous Records. That's Pharoah Monch's debut solo album, Internal Affairs. Amazing record. Next to Mos Def, we got NWA, Straight Outta Compton. Forever changed the game when that album dropped. That's a classic record. It's really important to the history of hip hop for multiple reasons in many great ways. And then some would argue or whatever, it also kind of ushered in a sound that some people eventually viewed as problematic. And keep it a buck with you, some people had problems with it when it first dropped, but it changed the game in so many ways. Like this gave us this is some of the earliest work from Dr. Dre, and so Dr. Dre becoming what we've come to know him as in terms of being one of the greatest producers of all time. Not just hip hop producers, one of the greatest producers of all time. So salute to NWA. Under that, you got Killer Mike's rap music album. That right there. Before we got Run the Jewels, this was like how we got the start of Killer Mike and LP working together, which led to Run the Jewels. This is a great record. I highly recommend checking that record out. Also checking out Killer Mike's new album as well, which is tough. I was just listening to Motherless the other day, yesterday, Trying to Fight Tears, man. Great record. All right, let's go back to the comments real quick. That PM out of print because of sample clearances, right? Which one you you talking about the Pharoah Monch joint? Yeah, I believe so. I know that they resolved some issues so that they were able to celebrate it and for its 20th anniversary. Was it the 20th anniversary of the record? But yeah, I think they worked it out because it recently was added not recently, but a little while ago was added back to streaming platforms. So yeah, man, salute to Pharaoh Monch for sure. We're gonna talk more about Pharaoh in a bit. Last King Saint, peace. What's going on, fam? All right, let's keep it going. Let's switch. All right. Right over here, we got the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. Amazing debut album. Amazing debut album. This record here, man, I just remember like the homies around the way putting me on the big and just being like, yo, it was street in a lot of ways, but like he was so lyrical at the same time. Like, so we had a lot of rappers before him that were very street, but they weren't as clever with the wordplay or had certain flows. So like Big was interesting because he could do it all. He could give you a party record. He could give a record. You know, he was very much like a Hitchcock, you know what I mean, in terms of his storytelling and how vivid the imagery was and stuff, man. And shout out to the different producers who contributed to this record as well, man. Easy Mo B, one of the greatest hip hop producers all time that don't oftentimes get brought up. Salute to Easy Mo B for producing on this record, and many others. Shout out to Chucky Thompson, a DMV legend who participated in some of the production on this record as well. But yeah, man, I could go on and on. Hey, thank you. I appreciate the love back. Thank you so much, man. Even here in Chile, people love Big Papa. I know that's right. Salute. Yeah, the Godzilla sample, going back to Pharaoh Monch's album. Yeah, that was the issue. But yeah, I believe they worked things out. Stan, did you see Billboard Top 50 rapper list they released this year? Controversial. Indeed. I never really... That's why, like, when everybody like has these conversations, I feel like, man, let's just talk about who your favorites are. We ain't got to say who's the best, who's this. It's all subjective, right? Like, if we're talking about the best, are we talking about the best lyrically? Because, of course, depending on who you ask and what they care about, that moves someone else to the top. If we're talking about, like, you know, the best based on industry standards in terms of who sells the most records in hip hop, there's going to be a ton of people at the top of that list who a lot of y'all don't like. You know what I'm saying? But you got to recognize the fact that, like, yo, there's a whole lot of factors that go into those records being successful. But for anyone who's very judgmental of mainstream stuff, and who's never worked in the industry or worked with people behind the scenes, a lot of folks, including some of us, do not know or understand what goes into those records and the science of making hip hop that can hit that level, right? And there's very few who are capable of doing stuff that meets the standards of the underground, right? And what we want from our hip hop music, and also at the same time seeing mainstream success. That's a small list of artists who've been able to achieve that. So yeah, man, I really don't lose a lot of sleep at those lists. You know, the folks gonna do what they do. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, thanks for bringing that up. All right, let's keep it going with what we got over here. All right, showing some more West Coast love. Down here, we got Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Right? Salute to Kendrick Lamar. This record right here, some people view it as his debut. It's technically not his debut record. It's kind of his mainstream debut, but it's not his debut record. But salute to Kendrick. Definitely one of the greats all time. I know that is debatable for a lot of folks, but I think his track record and what he's managed to do, and like from this record to what his last record is, and how the industry stops to discuss this record in detail, how we not only talk about the production, the lyrics, we also talk about some of the commentary as well, the social commentary, like, you know, his ideas on what's happening in the world, and him talking about things that a lot of artists, quite frankly, are afraid to talk about, right? So salute to Kendrick, because a lot of times people who get to his level, they don't dare to be different like that. You know what I mean? And he never shied away from that. Once he hit a certain level, he just kept, even before he hit that level with records like Section 80, he just kept it at a certain standard. So salute to Kendrick. Love that record as well. I know the mic's in the way. We're going to pick it up. Try not to disconnect nothing. Man, right there. Outkast, one of my favorite groups all time, maybe my top favorite groups, a top three, or definitely top five, right? I would say in my top five favorite groups, I can name four off the top. That fifth slot, I gotta think about it a little bit. But Outkast, Wu-Tang, A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. Who falls into that fifth slot? I usually got to put a lot of thought into that. But my immediate four, those are the four I don't have to think about. But yeah, man, salute to Outkast. Under Outkast, down here, we got the homie J Live. Salute to J Live. This right here, this is a classic underground record. So many gems on this record. You know, I first found out about J Live after becoming a member of Extended Fam. And we put out our song Line Drop. And Line Drop used to always get compared. Hold on. Yeah, man. Line Drop would always get compared to where is it at? Not the best part joint. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you the name of the track. I feel like it's the them that I'm about to mess up the title. Hold on. J Live. I know I definitely know the joints. Shazam. Them That's Not. Yeah, Them That's Not. Because of how that track starts at one tempo and then speeds up and then slows down and all that. So oftentimes when we would play our record for people, they would mention J Live. And so I went to check them out. Now, you know, when you're young and cocky, before you even listen to the person, if they comparing you to somebody, he was like, man, we'll see if they nice or not. And then I heard him say, son's nice. Son's nice. And then years later, meeting him being a super dope brother, super cool, becoming friends with him, doing shows with him, man, salute to J Live. Legendary artist. It was dope to see him get honored at the Grammys too when they were celebrating hip hop and 50 years of hip hop, and they had all the names on the screen. So it was dope to see an underground legend, a real live underground legend, get honored at the Grammys like that. So salute to my brother J Live. Let's put the record back, and then this last record. Hold up. That I'm gonna pick up. This ain't something that most of y'all are gonna know about. Nah, this ain't my top 10 album list. This is just some of my favorite some of my favorite joints and the cultural significance. But these definitely some of my favorite records. Some would argue some of the greatest records of all time. There's a lot of albums that I would consider some of the greatest albums of all time that I don't actually own on vinyl. I figured vinyl was the best way to showcase some of these records because they're so large. A lot of this stuff I have in my CD collection and then my cassettes. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna be prepping all day for the show. I was like, nah, we just gonna grab something real quick. But this record, the reason why I wanted to grab this record right here, this is Opus Occupant. This is their debut album called Raw Life, which y'all might not be able to see real clear, but the brother right there in the green circle, that is the brother. That's my brother Kokai. So for those who don't know, man, Kokai is like, you know, a legendary artist who was also a part of Q&5. But long before he was a part of Q&5, he was a part of this group here that had the members Ezra Greer on bass, Jay Nichols on drums, Ace International on the turntables, Sub Z, shout out to my brother Sub Z on vocals, Stan Cooper on guitar, Kokai on vocals, and also the legendary Black Indian, rest in peace, on the record, as well as Federico Pena on keys. And yeah, man, and they also had Magic Malik on flute on this record. They had a major deal back in the day. This came out in the 90s. What year was it? Hold up. Yeah, man, I can't find the year on this joint, but this came out was it the 90s? I think it was like either tail end of the 90s or early 2000s when this was released. Okay, so this was released early 2000, right? 2001, something like that. And yeah, man, these dudes are legendary dudes here in the area I'm from, And man, I just wanted to make sure I saluted some brothers who was putting on for this area long before a lot of us were even known. And they were doing records way before this as well. So like a lot of these brothers, shout out to the Amphibians, whose record I almost grabbed, In a Loop, and like so many others who was representing the DMV, and they were the standard. Shout out to Unspoken Herd, that's Asheru and Blue Black. Yeah, man, their record debuted the same year my record debuted, and I got to see them. I got this magazine back there where literally they had a 4-page spread. It was a 2-page spread where it was interviewing them, and then on the following page it was an interview with me, and we had never met each other at that point. But this was like, yo, this is DMV hip hop history, and I'm honored to know these people and be, peers with them now, as somebody who grew up like hearing the stories and eventually meeting them and seeing them and just understanding like, yo, this is the like people from this area are cut from a different cloth in terms of their musical and MCing ability. And so I'm honored to be amongst these brothers. Shout out to Opus Occupant. And yeah, man, so many others. All right. Yeah, hold that. Let's put that back. All right. So yeah, man, let's get to some of these comments real quick before we keep it pushing. Yeah, man. Let's turn this joint up. But yeah. So man, just honestly appreciate what you love. Life is too short, being concerned about what you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Got it. So yeah, man, honestly, just appreciate what you love. Life is too short, being concerned about what you don't. Indeed, man. Like, you love what you love. I always find it weird. I've always found it weird. This used to happen to me a lot back when my second album, Sacrifice, came out. Every time I go in the comment sections to see what people were saying about the records, to the videos and all of that, there's always somebody in the comments during that time hating on Lil Wayne, like going in. And I could never understand. I'm like, fam, do you realize part of the reason why he's so big is because even the people who don't like him cannot stop talking about him, right? So you're making sure that this artist that you don't like remains culturally relevant, because you almost feel irrelevant if you don't bring them up and have something to say. It's almost like your relevance is directly connected to at least having an opinion on the stuff you don't like. And it's just like, fam, you don't have to speak on it. You just don't have to speak on it, because you're literally giving them free promotion. Because a person who doesn't necessarily just, stamp every opinion that you have on something, but is interested because you're so passionate with your hate for them, like, they might go check it out. And then they find out that they like it. And they're looking at you like, the hell are you talking about? I love this. You know what I mean? I've never been a huge Wayne fan, but the one thing I've been very clear on for quite some time is he can rap, and he can rap well. And part of the reason why he's had staying power is because he actually has skill. You may not like the type of music he chooses to make, but when I hear people say things like trash, garbage, all of that stuff is subjective. And a lot of times there are certain artists that people like, and they like them more because of their subject matter and their sound. But quite frankly, in my opinion, they're not necessarily great wordsmiths. They're not great songwriters. It's very vibey, and it works for whatever thing that you want at the time. But a lot of times I feel like some of these rappers they hate on are far better rappers than some of the artists that people say they love. And I'm just like, yo, like, I get it. I'm always looking for a balance of both. I'm not just going to stamp you because I like what you represent. Like, that's cool. But if you're not very skilled technically, and your music doesn't have a lot of soul in it that I connect with, then yeah, just because you're doing the right thing or saying a lot of things I agree with outside of music doesn't automatically mean I'm going to listen to you and give you the pass. Because I'm all about quality control, fam. So if you're a weak ass rapper, you're a weak ass rapper, man, you could be the most positive dude in the world and be like, man, that's cool, brother. That's real good, man. I appreciate what you're saying. And I'm gonna stop right there, because I definitely don't appreciate how you saying it. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep it pushing. All right. I started to listen to more hip hop thanks to Good Kid. Also, K Dot have really good mixtapes, like Overly Dedicated. 100% Overly Dedicated was dope. Yeah, There's just so many great choices. Indeed, indeed. Outkast made me a hip hop fan as a kid, man. Oh, listen, made me who I am. Salute the Outkast. All right, let's keep it going. Petition for Pete Rock for your fifth. Yeah, I mean Pete Rock wouldn't. So when you say my fifth, I'm talking about like my fifth, my fifth slot for favorite groups. So Pete Rock is just one man, so he wouldn't make it into my fifth. And although I did like Pete Rock and CL Smooth, they wouldn't be in my top 5. I don't even think they would be in my top 10 or 20 to keep it a buck. And I love some of their music, but their albums weren't necessarily the albums I played the most. Doesn't mean I didn't like their stuff. It just didn't hit me the way certain people stuff hit me. However, I will definitely tell you in a heartbeat that They Reminisce Over You is one of the greatest songs, period. One of the greatest songs ever made. Yeah, man. And I'm pretty sure I've told y'all my situation with that song. But if not, I'll share that story again. I just copped the Best Part record off J-Live Bandcamp the other day. Salute. That's what's up. Clap it up for you for supporting great hip hop. All right. C. Cruz is the man. Word. That's mad dope. Hopefully one day y'all will have a collaboration. That would be dope. Stan, do you like Graduation by Kanye? Indeed, I do. I have that in my CD collection. The artwork on Graduation is amazing as well. All right. It was nice seeing you again at Otakon. Thanks for being so real and fun to talk to. Peace and love, brother. Hey, man, Scrub, I appreciate it. Scrub Manjaro, thank you, man. I appreciate the love, fam. All right, hopefully I catch you at the next one. Cunning Linguist is one of my favorite underground hip-hop groups. Substantial did a record with them. Indeed, we're going to talk more about Cunning Linguist in a little bit. Y'all don't go nowhere because we're still celebrating hip-hop, and we got a lot more to cover. All right? Frank, peace. Good to see you up in here, fam. All right? Catching up on these comments, and then we're going to jump back to the next phase. Off the top, I would say the cool. The past is always present in the future. B, Black on Both Sides, Graduation. Those are always at the top of on my head when I am asked. Man, that's a great list, and I'm honored to be amongst that list. That's dope. Those are a lot of great records. So thank you for adding me to that. Stamp, indeed. Hey, what up? Shout out to GMS, my brother GMS up in here. My brother Early Word up in here. Clap it up for Early as well. Forgot to clap it up for Early. Early, I'm pretty sure you dropped something new today. I think I saw something in my notifications that Early Bird dropped a new record. So definitely support my brother Early. Definitely support my brother GMS as well, man. Stan, I need to keep it a buck hat/shirt from you. Oh man, so look, so check this out. Hat that I'm rocking, since we talking about hats and such, that's the Dedicated and Driven hat that came out with my Soundtrack for Fatherhood project. That's available on it's available on the subartmusic.com store. So if you go to subartmusic.com/store, you can get the hat from there. I know you already know though. I'm pretty sure Eric already got one. You know what I mean? But also this shirt that I'm wearing. Hold up, let's raise up. It says "Hip Hop is my love language." Got that from the homie E-Turn. Shout out to E-Turn. If you're not a fan of E-Turn or you haven't heard her music, I don't know what to tell you. You slipping. E-Turn is definitely one of the nicest women on the mic and arguably one of the best MCs coming out of Florida for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think, yeah, like, man, if you know indie music coming out of Florida, E-Turn's definitely top tier, in my opinion. She's super dope. Yeah, man, so check her out. Yep, Early confirmed. He dropped something new. All right. Common Market, Panacea, Sciences of Life are very good groups. Stamp all of that. Yeah, man, shout out to Panacea, shout out to Common Market. I did a song with one of the brothers from, man, I've done music with almost all of these guys, and I know John Robinson, a.k.a. Little Psy, very well, so shout out to all of them. All right. Remix of our song, too. Word. That damn good, oldie, Salt and Pepper Bears, Say Less, hell, all of the Adultish is crack, man. I appreciate it. No worries. I was able to follow you. Peace, G. All right. Let's see. All right. So let's get to the next phase. Let's get this back up on the screen. So again, we are celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And what I want to do is I'm going to take you down memory lane. Now, I'm telling you right now, there's certain people who are left out, certain experiences are left out. It's not because I was intentionally trying to leave anyone out. It's because I didn't think to do this until about 2 hours before the show started. So it put me in a situation where there was no way I could be super thorough and include everything. But I'll do my best to try to tie in additional stories as we talk about it. But what we're about to do right now is talk about like my love for hip hop, and the journey it's taken me on, and the many dope people that I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with over the years. So, but before we do that, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Please support the channel if you can. You can donate via the super chat. You can also donate via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. If that's not something you're interested in doing, but you know there's certain merch you haven't caught from me yet, like my new album, I'm just saying, no pressure. You should do that. No pressure, though, but you should do that. No pressure at all, but you should do that. Anyway, all right, let's keep it pushing. All right. Yeah, I think we're ready. Here we go. Let's switch this up. Nope, wrong side. Shazam. That's what we're going to do. So we celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Oh, let me pull me down for a second. Shazam. So right here, we're going to start with some cool memories. Some cool memories and stuff. First of all, for those who don't know, hip hop had this significant event. A lot of people argue on when the actual birthday of hip hop is. But for me, that's semantics. It's pointless to kind of get into those debates because, one, you can talk about like how certain elements of hip hop existed long before hip hop was dubbed hip hop. So, for example, graffiti is a term that's been around long before most of the technology that's used to create hip hop, all of this stuff. Like, for example, in different parts of Europe, you would go to like certain ruins, and then they were ruined. In these ruins, there was markings on the ruins that led you to like not so safe places or like shady activities, and those writings were dubbed graffiti long back then. Now, graffiti as we know it today started to become a thing in the 60s, right? So before hip hop was hip hop, graffiti was around, right? The same thing with certain technology that's used to make hip hop music and use the DJ. This technology existed before hip hop was a thing. But the most significant event most people agree on in terms of what led to the foundation or the birth of hip hop is this particular event that was thrown by the legendary Kool Herc. Shout out to Kool Herc. And it happened on August 11th, 1973. And that is why people recognize this particular date as the birthday of hip hop. Also, these photos that you see, they were taken a few years back when my wife and I and the girls, we were in the Bronx. And so, we stopped by 1520 Sedgwick Avenue where the function actually happened. And it was dope to see the sign that literally said Hip Hop Boulevard. That was amazing. All right, now let's get to some of these comments real quick before we keep it pushing. Question. Been meaning to ask, the shirt Nerdy People of Color, what was that a collab shirt between you and IQ or his merch? Want to grab a few more. That shirt was actually a shirt that was for the Nerdy People of Color collective that me and IQ are a part of with Mega Ran. I'm not sure what site the shirt can be found on. We have an NPC collective site. So if you Google Nerdy People of Color Collective, the website should pop up and merchandise affiliated with our collective should be up there. All right. But thank you for the question. All right. Good to run into you along the way. I see what you did there. Iconic event, man. Thanks for showing up, everybody, today. And shout out to everyone in the comments. We're rapping in the 40s, 100%. And this is what I'm saying. There are certain elements of hip hop that existed before it was dubbed hip hop. All right. But events like this event that we have this flyer for is one of the places where a lot of these different things that existed before hip hop culminated in one place. And these environments help to groom the next groom us, this early generation in hip hop culture through these block parties and events like this. Let's go for the art lesson and session. Yeah, man. All right, hip hop in general still young to you. Yeah, I mean, compared to other genres, right? Or compared to other cultures, 100% hip hop is like, and it's still a baby in a lot of ways compared to how long we've had other types of music and other styles of art and other styles of dance. Like when you compare it like that and you look at how long some of these other art forms have been around, it's definitely still young. So yeah, man, definitely I appreciate the comments. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's get into some more of these memories. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna share like certain memories that are specific to me and certain experiences I've had. Just to make this a bit more personal, because I know a lot of people are going to be documenting or talking about a lot of things that have happened in the culture on a global scale, specific to certain artists. And the one thing I've learned a long time ago is I don't sit around and wait for anybody to tell my story. My story is my story is just that, and it's my story to tell. So I'm gonna talk to you about my story and my journey and how it's connected to certain artists that some of y'all may know and some of you don't. All right, so first and foremost, a lot of y'all wouldn't know me, right? A lot of y'all wouldn't know me without my connection with Nujabes and DJ Dextream. For those who don't know the story, in 1999 is when Nujabes and I first connected. It was basically because of my relationship with Sphere of Influence, my brother Tomo, who was a rapper from Japan, who happened to go to Pratt Institute with me. We exchanged numbers before he went back home for the summer. And while he was home for the summer, he was working at Nujabes' record store. Nujabes asked him if he knew of any dope rappers in New York at the time, which is where I was living. And I'm sorry if you hear background noise. My youngest daughter's having a moment. But anyway, he asked him if he knew any dope rappers in New York. And Tomo, of all the dope rappers he knew, he decided to mention me. And the rest is history. So shout out to him, man, because without Tomo doing that, I don't meet Nujabes. Without me meeting Nujabes, I don't meet DJ Dextream, aka Monaristic. Rest in peace to both of those brothers, man. Greatly appreciative of the impact they've had, like those relationships had on my life and my artistic journey. You know what I mean? Word, going even further back, keep it a buck. Yeah, griots in Africa, absolutely. These were storytellers, right, who sometimes were documenting the history of their villages and their people through like a song, right, and storytelling at times, right? And so, yeah, man, like, so when you think about what MCing is, because I've heard a lot of artists from Nas to Odyssey talk about rappers as reporters, simply just reporting on what they're seeing in their environment, telling the stories of people from their environment and their own stories. So yeah, man, definitely. Its impact is still huge though. Yeah, 100%. I guess you could say to this union hip hop was born. Word. Hey, peace. What up, Maglo? Good to see you up in here, brother. Clap it up for my brother Maglo. Hope to see you this weekend, friend. I feel hip hop is so ingrained into me that you couldn't separate me from it. Word. Word, man. Yes, indeed. Rest in peace to Nujabes. Rest in peace to Dextream. Let's see. You were in that pic with Nujabes RP and Dextream RP, like 22. So yeah, man, this picture was taken in 2000. So that's 23 years ago. So yeah, I just turned 21. You know what I mean? I just turned 21 when we took this picture. Word. Toasting in Jamaica as well. Yeah, toasting is probably, like, in terms of rap, how we know it, toasting is most closely related to rap and derives from that. Because as a lot of you know, Kool Herc is Jamaican. And so because he's Jamaican and experienced he experienced in toasting firsthand, that was a part of the culture. And so a lot of the different things that there's a ton of West Indians who live in New York, and different people from Jamaica and all of the different islands, and they bring different things that are part of their culture on the islands to the city with them. And toasting was one of those things, right? So was the merry-go-round, right? Like in terms of people taking dub records, those classic reggae records back in the day, and having the dubs or whatever going back and forth to extend the grooves. These are all things that derive from Jamaica and places like that. You know what I mean? Slightly off top, Stan, but this picture and a few others always made me wonder just how short he was in person. Yeah, so he was probably, I think I have a picture of what was it? I have a picture of Nujabes with my wife. My wife is making this crazy facial expression in it, so I never share it. But yeah, they're standing side by side and they're like the same height. My wife is about 5'3", 5'2", 5'3". And so yeah, he was about her height, maybe a little bit taller, and that's me being generous. So yeah, if memory serves me correct. All right. Got to go back to work, but happy birthday. Celebrate all day. If you're in Nova, there's a dope hip hop 50th event at Park DeVille in Mosaic District. Yeah, man, definitely. All right, early. Have a great one, brother. Enjoy. All right, let's keep it pushing. It's crazy how good Monaristic's skill was considering he got into hip hop late in his teens. Indeed. Yeah, man. All right. Nujabes enjoy video games or not? I never spent time playing video games with Nujabes. I know he enjoyed, and like he definitely, we talked film a lot. We definitely talked a lot about different types of movies. One movie that we both loved that we would talk about a lot was Memento. And the inside joke between us, a lot of times when we would kick it, if I forgot something, right? If he had asked me something before I was supposed to do something, if I forgot, he was like, "Oh, Stan, I think you got Memento." He would say that over and over again. If you've seen the movie, then you understand the reference. But rest in peace to Jen. Rest in peace to Nato as well. Let's keep it pushing. All right, keep going down memory lane. All right, another huge moment was another pivotal moment in my career and life was becoming a part of Q&5 Music. The first release I did with Q&5 Music, I technically wasn't signed to them, but we released the project under the name of Extended Fam, which was me, Pac FM, my homie Session, who I was just texting before this, and my brother Tone Down. That was one of the early, it was definitely one of the earlier Q&5 releases and a big moment for all of our careers and kind of launch from there, you know what I mean? Like our solo endeavors and stuff. So, man, shout out to my brothers at Q&5. Shout out to Cunning Linguist, who I had the pleasure of touring with many times. Them, DJ Flip Flop. Of course, my brother Tone, Tone and I go back. Most of these brothers and I go back over 20 plus years. As y'all know, Tone mixed and mastered Adultish, so we still doing work. Yeah, man, it's crazy, just crazy. Shout out to Pac FM. I had the pleasure of kicking it with Pac a couple weeks ago. I think this is the most I've seen Pac in a year in quite some time because I saw him at GMS's album release, and then I saw him again when I was in New York for a couple days and stuff for a wedding. We happened to be staying not too far from where Pac lives, so we kicked it with him, his wife, and his two girls. It was dope, like just seeing where we are now. Pac is heavy in the gardening now, so I joked and called. It was talking via text. I was like, I started calling them Plan FM. But yeah, man, shout out to my brothers, and of course, man, shout out to DJ JS1. But shout out to my brother Kokai, who I was also talking about not too long ago. I met Kokai through an event that Odyssey was doing with the homie Unknown, who I just saw the other night. Saw both of them the other night. But I met Kokai through that event. This is like 07. And yo, we hit it off. He gave me a copy of his album, which was super dope. And I became a fan. But like then I bumped into him again, him and his wife Sahat. I bumped into them at South by Southwest, and we were kicking it then, chopping it up. And so Tone was looking for like a new artist to bring in the Q&5. And the two artists that I recommended to him, I recommended Godzilla because those are the homies and they're super dope. I'm a super fan of their music. And then I recommended Kokai. I was like, yo, if you looking for more of a group that's doing something a bit different, than a lot of what the artists on Q&5 was doing, then it was like, yo, then Godzilla be dope. But if you're looking for an artist who very much is someone who bends genres and can do it all and just super dope as well, I was like, then check out Kokai. And then he checked out Kokai. And then that's how we ended up with Robots and Dinosaurs. So salute to these brothers, man. Shout out to Q&5. My career would not be the same without them as well. All right. Also, special shout out to my brother Ope, my brother O Asiatic. When I met Pac, I also met Ope. And around the time that I first started working with Q&5, when I was doing my solo album, Ope was my manager, and we're still friends to this day, man. Shout out to my brother Ope as well. All right, let's get back to these comments. When we finally get to meet, I gotta just chat with you. I could probably talk to you for a few hours at least and still be super interested. Man, I appreciate that, man. Looking forward to finally meeting in person. And you know me and my questions, no doubt. According to the statistics in your platform music distribution, folks here in South America listen to substantial catalog. I really wish to see you here one day, Stan. I definitely have a lot of listeners throughout South America. It's not one of the biggest. Chile in particular is not necessarily one of the biggest regions for me globally, but Chile is definitely one of the bigger countries in terms of South America where people listen to me. So I would love to come there, man. All I can say is if you know promoters there, you know people who put on festivals there, I definitely have some fans there. I don't know if it's enough to justify someone paying all that money to bring me out there, but God willing, someday, knock on wood, hopefully it happens, man. So man, I appreciate the love, brother. All right. Channeling your inner prince in that photo. That's funny as hell. Hey, peace. What's going on, Tommy? All right. Let's keep it moving. All right. Let's keep these memories going. All right. So another pivotal moment in my life around hip hop, definitely meeting Kool Herc. Shout out to Kool Herc. Kool Herc's been like a big brother or more like an uncle type of figure to me over the years. I actually talked to him a few months back. Maybe I can't remember if it might have been either right before I went on tour or right after I was on tour. But shout out to Herc, man. Definitely love that brother dearly. Had the pleasure of meeting him. The story goes, we needed a DJ for our wedding. Originally, I was talking to a fellow member of the Plague, DJ DP1, who's an amazing DJ. He's Lauryn Hill's former tour DJ. He's also Estelle's former tour DJ. And I'm lucky to call this guy crew and, have had him do cuts on one of my records before. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do it. And so we just happened to be talking to my wife's friend and former professor, Adrian Jones, and they apparently were waiting. So she doesn't tell us Kool Herc's her boyfriend, but she was like, oh, my boyfriend DJs, maybe he could DJ y'all wedding. And then she gives us his card, because initially when she says that, I'm thinking like most people, it's like, oh God, like whose relative don't do something in hip hop nowadays? But when I see the card, I see Kool Herc, and my wife sees my face, and she's like, yo, why do I know that name? I was like, because he's the father of hip hop. That's why you know his name. And so, that was crazy. And, we ended up meeting up with him, man. It was, went to his home, walking down this hallway, seeing all of these plaques on the wall that say father of hip hop, something honoree, et cetera, et cetera. It was just crazy. And then next thing you know, we're just in his backyard having baked beans and snacks. Like, and that's where we took this picture. It was in the backyard of his home. And that was crazy, man. That was crazy. This definitely a crazy moment. I was I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, but I was just talking about my relationship with Herc and how much a part of just a part of certain experience he's been with me and my family, because he'll call just to check, see how me and the girls are doing, which is always crazy. And when I bought my first home, the first home I ever lived in. Like prior to that, I'd only ever lived in apartments. This first house I ever lived in. After I purchased it, I talked to two people immediately. Two people immediately called me to say congratulations. One of those two people was my mom. The first person who called me to say congratulations was actually Cool Herc. So yeah, man, shout out to Cool Herc. Love that brother dearly, man. Grateful to be able to say that he's been a part of my life in this way. On a music tip, he appeared on Sacrifice, which was crazy because he literally came to my home studio, my makeshift home studio, and recorded that in the closet at my crib. Like, like I can't make this stuff up, fam. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, but salute to Herc. Let's keep it moving. All right. So we were talking about Nujabes before, man. Some other pivotal moments, of course, losing Nujabes was crazy. Like, it was surreal. Especially finding out the way I did. Like, when Nujabes passed, Marcus D was the first person to tell me. And then when Dextrine passed, Marcus D was the first person to tell me. And yeah, so losing those brothers were definitely hard. But doing those tribute events, celebrating the life of Nujabes, going to Japan back in, was that 2010? I think it was 2010. Was it 2010? I feel like it was 2010 when we went out to do the first tribute in August of that year. And yeah, man, that event and what that event meant, and finally getting to put faces with the names of all of these folks who work with him. You know what I mean? Finally getting to meet Systar. I had already met Pace because we had recorded Blessing It years before. And meeting the Emancipator, Fat John and stuff for the first time. Meeting Apani B. The funny thing is I had seen Apani B in New York performing, but we never were introduced or had the chance to meet. So I met her like in the ride from the airport going to rehearsal and stuff. Meeting Zach Austin, Nitsua, meeting him for the first time, and then meeting Funky DL for the second time. But eventually in that photo at the top in 2015, me and DL really started to become a bit closer then and became friends and stuff. And yeah, man, it's been just dope to see the bonds that have built over the years and stuff with those brothers. Eternally grateful for our relationship. But yeah, man, let's keep it pushing. And feel free if y'all got questions, let me know. Another pivotal moment, some of my hip hop memories, man. Listen, Chuck D and Public Enemy. I grew up listening to them. I've been listening to their music since the 80s. And I always tell the story of how I had a clock radio thing that I could set up where it could play specific joints, which was pretty advanced. So I would wake up to Fight the Power the year that it came out. Like, I'd wake up to that song. That's a hell of a song to be waking up to, son. So, but Chuck, man, like, from, being a fan of him, watching his career and how he moves, and how, like, what type of representative he is for the culture and for our people, is inspirational to say the least. And so yeah, man, just imagine what it was like for me to find out that this man was playing my music on the radio. This was like 2012. If it wasn't 2012 when he first started playing my stuff, it was like 2014 when I found out he was playing my music on the radio. And bruh, like, that was insane to me. So then fast forward, I think it was 2014. It was somewhere between 2012 and 2014 when I first found out that he knew who I was and was playing my stuff on the radio. Fast forward to 2017, the past is always present in the future drop. And I remember him introducing the song Made in Maryland on his station. And as he was introducing it, him saying the title and then literally quoting some of the bars from the song, like, fam, like, again, I've been listening to this dude from the 80s. So in 2017, hearing this legend, this rock and roll Hall of Famer, who knew who I was, but wasn't just kind of passively being like, yeah, new song from Substantial. Like, he's like, nah, new song from Substantial. Made in Maryland, from the album The Past Is Always Present in the Future. Then he pauses and he's like, yo, that's a great title. And I was like, that alone just had me on cloud nine, fam. But then after the joint, like when he started quoting bars from the joint, like when he quoted the line from the home of Tubman and Douglas, like, I mean, if anybody would know what that means, it's him. So it's a song celebrating being from Maryland, but I ain't just shouting out a bunch of rappers and a bunch of hoods in Maryland. I'm like, nah, fam. I need you to know what my state is, like the cloth we're cut from. I'm from the home of the greatest freedom fighter in the history of our country, right? That's the state I'm from, the place that she called home, right? And then a huge advocate for the justice of our people in Frederick Douglass, right? Like, so of course, if anybody is going to recognize that line and understand the significance of it, it was him. And so yeah, man, like, just to get that love, and this is a photo that my oldest daughter Serenity took at the event where he shouted me out, and that's where the quote came from, where he was like one of the great MCs of our time when people ask him who he listened to. And so yeah, man, that was a hell of a moment, yo. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a Substantial Sundays where y'all can find me talking about what happened and tearing up as I'm talking about it, because it was just like, yo, like my emotions was on a million that night. So I was like, yo, what just happened? Hey, peace, what's going on, fam? Good to see you up in here. All right. Of all the New Jabesh fellow collaborations, who would you say are you the closest to? Oh, fellow collaborators. The one I speak to the most is DL. Like, me and Funky DL keep in contact. We speak bare minimum. I would say we interact online at least once or 2 to 3 times a month, somewhere around there. And then we probably hop on a call, and we'll get on a call for like an hour. At least once every 2 months, if not once a month. But yeah, DL is the one I contact the most, and reaches out. And yeah, man, just a great dude, man. Really, really love that brother. And after DL is probably Shingo. Shingo and I communicate. Just was talking to him this past week. So yeah, so those are the two I probably talk to the most. And then after that, it would probably be Pace, and then Systar. But it's been a while since I've spoken to both of them. But shout out to all of them brothers, man. All right, let's keep it pushing. Sorry, I got the sniffles. All right, another awesome moment. A few months after meeting Chuck D, I got to meet one of the greatest women on the mic to ever do it, Rod Digger. I was a huge Flip Mode fan of the Outsiders and stuff. And so meeting Rod Digger just at random, finding out that she had a show happening when I was on tour in Europe, and getting to meet her. Where were we? Copenhagen. Yeah, we got to meet her in Copenhagen, and that was just super dope. You know what I mean? That's one thing that's cool about touring. Like, you never know who you're going to get to meet on the road, because a lot of times other artists have events going on. Sometimes the place where you're performing has multiple events happening. So I couldn't find the picture quick enough, but there was a time where I was performing at a venue in Texas with Marcus D, and right downstairs in the main room, DJ Spinderella from Salt and Pepper, DJ Spinderella was doing a DJ event downstairs. And so that was crazy. I was like, oh my God. Like, she was like my biggest crush in hip hop when I was a kid. So that, man, just, the adventures of tour life, and you never know who you're going to get to meet. And so it's dope that you get to meet some of your favorite artists and some of your heroes and stuff. Another cool moment, this particular day, I actually got the chance, thanks to my brother Kokai again, I got to perform with him and a lot of other dope artists at the Kennedy Center, right here in Washington, D.C., which that in itself was insane. But then De La Soul was closing out the show, so I got to see De La with Dave before he had passed. I got to see them live, and that was crazy. And then I got to meet Pharoah Monch for the side. This was not my first time meeting Pharoah Monch, but at one point in time, we were in conversation and stuff about a potential collab, but that was like years before this. That was like over 11 years before this meeting right here happened. So I bumped into Pharoah like twice since then. And because of the amount of distance in between that time we were in communication, of course, he ain't remember me. But yeah, the first time I met Pharoah was doing shows with Cunning Linguists out in Europe and stuff. And we performed in Rennes, France and Paris together. And those shows were insane, and it was a huge honor. But yeah, these dudes, two of my favorite artists, hip hop legends, another great memory. Other great memories, being able to tour as frequently, not super frequently, but being able to hop on a few dates with Shingo outside of the stuff we would do in Japan. So doing those tribute events here in the States with him and stuff, man, was a great time. It helped me and Shingo become a bit closer and stuff. Great brother, man. And then this one, I'll wrap up with this one. Meeting Pete Nice from Third Base and getting to meet him across the street from where the Universal Hip Hop Museum was being built. And they were putting together an exhibit, these exhibits that, like these installations that stay in for a few months, and then they bring in new things. And these are things that are all going to be in the actual museum once the museum opens. But meeting Pete Nice, man, Pete Nice was a super dope artist. You know, from the era of hip hop I grew up in, listening to folks like him and MC Search, and listening to KMD, which was MF Doom's original group and stuff. You know, yeah, so that was just a dope moment, man, just to get to meet that brother real quick. But yeah, so in the comments, man, if oh yeah, no, I'm lying, I had another one this past year, getting to meet DMC. So fun fact, first rap group I ever seen, or first hip hop concert I ever went to live, was seeing Run DMC in Louisville, Kentucky. This was like 1993, I think it was. And so yeah, man, yeah, that was insane. That show was like amazing. So finally getting to meet him in person and being able to talk to him briefly, being able to support. I copped his children's book for my daughter. DMC is a legend, man. Run DMC, definitely one of the greatest rap groups of all time, and knocked down so many doors and created so many opportunities and stuff. So that was huge, man. Real quick, shout out. We got some legends in the chat. Shout out to Steph, my sister from another mister. Sis, I saw your text, but of course, by the time I see your text this morning, I was already prepping for the show. And so, yeah, my bad. We will talk later today for sure. All right. But yeah, shout out to Steph. But yeah, man, those are my hip hop memories, man. I hope y'all enjoy some of those stories and stuff. Shout out to those of you who were able to stick around for all of that. I know we're running a little bit long. I said I was going to try to keep it short today, but I should have known. Me telling stories, my old ass telling stories. Come on, son. Come on, son. What old person you know telling stories and it's quick ever? You know what I mean? But real quick, let's jump into a couple more things before I get out of here. Again, happy 50th to hip hop. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to just to hear those stories and stuff, and take that journey with me. But let's jump into some more stuff. So let's talk about some events. We're talking about hip hop turning 50. Let's talk about how we're going to celebrate it here in the DMV tomorrow. All right. Let me put this up on the screen. Shazam. All right, so a couple of events happening in August, the first of which is basically me performing at the Lincoln Theater, the legendary Lincoln Theater. I've been to the Lincoln Theater. The last time I was at the Lincoln Theater was to see Nas perform and also see his documentary about Illmatic and his career. And that was the last time I was in that space. So you got to imagine how crazy it feels for me to now get the opportunity to perform on the same stage that I saw Nas perform on. That is bonkers. It's ape shit, man. That's like, so anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend to celebrate 50 years of hip hop. I'll be at the Lincoln Theater, pardon me. Tickets are free, but you got to RSVP in order to secure your seat. So make sure you do that if you're in the area. And God willing, man, earlier that day we'll be able to stop by the African American Museum too. Let's see. All you missing is a rocking chair on the porch. Let me tell you something about hip hop. I remember where we was breakdancing on cardboards before we had access to dance studios and nice hardwood floors. It was just dirty ass cardboard boxes. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all sitting through all the stories, yo. Hope y'all enjoyed tomorrow the show. Yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be great. But yeah, so that event's happening tomorrow. Let's keep that going so I can tell you some of the other folks that's gonna join. I'm not the only one performing. I get the pleasure of rocking with Odyssey and his band Good Company. So I'm rocking over a live band. Good Company is going to be doing live renditions of Black of All Trades and Salt and Pepper. So I'll be performing those with a live band tomorrow. Should be an amazing time. Also performing is Ade, formerly known as Phil Ade, hip hop legend and DMV legend Nonchalant. She's going to be performing. Priest the Nomad is going to be performing. Shout out to Big Bro and my other big brother. I was just talking to him the other day. I was talking to both of these brothers the other day. But shout out to Asheru, who's also performing. Other performances include Godzilla's going to be there. DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat. Yes, he's going to be there also, because a lot of people forget that's a DMV legend. Also performing Question Mark Asylum. A lot of y'all don't know about Question Mark Asylum, but look up this song called Look Away by Question Mark Asylum. The remix was produced by Eric Sermon. That group was from the DC area. Legends. They were doing this in the 90s, man. People like me was hearing them on 1580, that station that I made the song dedicated to. I was hearing them on 1580 and mainstream radio and like watching them do their thing as a group from the DMV. That was huge for us back in the day. So how can we celebrate 50 years of hip hop without having those brothers there? And many more are going to be joining us. It's going to be a great, great event. Definitely come through if you can. All right. All right. In Sophia's voice, picture it, the Bronx, 1973. Yeah. All right. But definitely come through if you can. It's going to be a really, really dope event. Let's keep it pushing. All right. All we're missing is Born Jamaicans. Oh man, that'd be crazy. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, next event coming up the following weekend. I'm gonna be performing at Conjutsu. Now, a quick heads up. If you're coming to Conjutsu and you're specifically there to see me, let me tell you exactly when I'm performing, because you're gonna be surprised to find out how early in the day I'm performing. So I will be there Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I'm strictly vending. You can come through. If you got a baby that need a kiss on the forehead and a picture with substantial, we can do that. If you need a high five, you know what I'm saying, need the classic side-by-side pic, cool, come through, do that. I'm going to be signing autographs, taking pictures all day. For real, that's literally what I'm going to be doing, and selling lots of merch. And then also, the following day, Sunday, that's when I'm performing. So I have a panel. My panel's super early in the morning. God damn, I've never done a panel this early. But my panel starts at 10 a.m. God, Lord have mercy. It's going to be me and 5 people, all crusty. Terrible. I've never done a panel that early, but that's what's happening. So 10 a.m. is my panel. After my panel, you can catch me performing at around, I think, 12:30. I think 12:30 is when I hit the stage. It's an early performance because they have a cosplay competition that's happening, and I'm the lead-in to the cosplay competition. So again, you know, if you're not at church, because that's the time of day I'm performing. If you're not at church and you can come to Conjutsu, come check me out. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's get back to these comments real quick. Hey, that's wow. That's what's up. Daughter's 9th birthday is tomorrow. Can I get a happy birthday for? Yo, yeah, man. Happy birthday to the young queen. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have an amazing day. Your pops is awesome. You know, I hope you're listening to the wise words that brother's sharing with you. And I wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Go out and be great. All right. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to her. Absolutely. All right. Star on Substantial Young. There you go. Yeah, man. Definitely blessings to her. Her favorite song is Black of All Trades. It's crazy. See, there it is. I'm going to be performing on her birthday. You know what I mean? The song that's her favorite joint. That's dope. That's what's up. Gotta go, but thanks for the stories. You're very, very welcome, man. You're very welcome. Thank you, Malik. Wishing you all the best, brother. Great choice. That's super dope. Word. All right. Yo. Hey, clap it up. Michael Left. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you, fam. I'm looking forward to receive my copy of Adultish. Yes. All right. I'm going to update y'all on all things Adultish in a second. Let's keep it pushing so we can close out. So, a couple quick announcements before we get to Adultish, and then I'm out of here. I know we're running a little long today. I appreciate y'all patience. So, yeah, man. So, heads up, Artistry. We just finished the season. All episodes of Artistry Season 4 are now live on YouTube and all platforms that allow you to stream podcasts. So go check it out if you haven't. The last 2 interviews we did, Hadia Williams, for those of you who may not know her name, you definitely have, if you've been in a Target, you've probably seen her artwork because she literally has stuff available in their home decor section, from pieces you can hang on your walls to mugs that you can drink out of, to I don't know if there's curtains, but she has a lot of different products available at Target literally right now. So we had her as a guest on the show. She's an amazing artist who's done clay work, graphic design. She's from the DMV area. One of the early work she did was for the Low Budget Crew artist. Oh my God, I know his name. Al Green's his real name. That's his actual real name. And Camber, that's his artist name. So if you're familiar with Low Budget Crew, that's Kev Brown and all the homies. Definitely look up this artist named Camber. But Hadia Williams has started out like a lot of us, doing freelance and stuff, and has gone on to do amazing things worldwide with her art. And she was our last guest of the season. And then the interview that we did before that was with Opie Snow, who's another amazing artist, amazing painter, and designer as well. So definitely check out both of those interviews. They're live. If you're not following my company's YouTube channel, be sure to do that. On all platforms, it's just Sub Art and Music. All right. So check out the new episodes of Artistry. We're going to start breaking those episodes up so you can go ahead and get some of the clips for those of y'all who don't know where to start. And maybe with some of those clips, y'all find some stuff that's interesting to you and you can venture off from there. All right. Let's keep it pushing. All right. So let's talk about Artistry before we go. So again, for those who don't know, who've been living under a rock, Adultish. I said let's talk about Artistry, didn't I? Adultish. Let's talk about Adultish. Adultish is out right now, streaming on all platforms. Shout out to all of y'all, man. The album has well over 120,000 streams just on Spotify alone, not including all other platforms. Y'all did that. Thank y'all so much, man. Clap it up for yourselves. A couple of quick updates. I just got notifications. Over the last couple of days about 2 different things. Number one, the vinyl should be shipping out to me any day now. So that's super exciting. I need to make sure this final payment goes in, and then we can go ahead and hopefully have those by next week so I can start to ship those out to you. Shout out to all of the folks who supported back in Kickstarter, who I know have been waiting for quite some time, as far back as November of 2022. I appreciate y'all patience because nobody has come at me sideways like, yo, son, what the F, man? Why you tripping, son? Why I ain't get my, blah, blah, blah. Nobody come at me crazy. I've been doing my best to keep y'all updated at least once a week on the goings-ons with the release. And so thank y'all for being so patient. But yeah, the vinyl, hopefully, God willing, I'll have it by next week sometime so I can start getting those out to you. Obviously, next week, when we have Substantial Weekly, I'll be able to confirm whether they've showed up or not. Or bare minimum, let you know specifically what day because I'm waiting for a tracking number. All right. So that's what's going on with the vinyl. The other update that I received, excuse me one second. The other update that I received is for the hats, the Adultish hats, which y'all can see right up there. The Adultish hats, bow, get to it. There it is. The Adultish hats will be back in stock by next week. They should be arriving to me by the 15th. So once I confirm that I received them, those will open back up on Bandcamp, and you'll be able to order your Adultish hat. So thank y'all for being patient, but that's going on with some of the physical merch. There's a part of the album that, like, I was slipping, fell behind on, and I've been working on, but been having some technical issues, but I recently resolved it. So should have that ready soon. So the digital booklet that was supposed to be available through the Bandcamp page that has the lyrics and stuff in it, someone recently hit me up asking about that. No worries, I will have that done soon. I've been taking care of like getting the shipments out and all of this other stuff, and literally that just slipped my mind for a second. I started on it and didn't finish because other things started popping up, but I will complete that. And for those of you who didn't get it with the download of the album, don't worry, I will send a link through Bandcamp and also through Kickstarter where y'all can download it, and anybody after that email goes out who downloads it from Bandcamp will automatically get it as a download with the rest of the project. All right, so those are some quick things about the album. Let's get back to these comments. Looking forward to receive my copy of Adultish. Yep. Read that already. Yes, you did. You are forget. All right, no worries. All right. So yeah, man, I think, hold on, another comment. Yep, can't wait to get the deluxe autograph vinyl once I get my next paycheck. You are the man. Thank you, sir. Let me see. So again, for those who haven't seen the merch, this is what we're looking at. Remember, the USB cassettes are available right now. Has nearly 500 songs on it, as well as the ebook version of my children's book. All that for $75. The CD is available, deluxe version of the CD, 25 tracks, the album plus the instrumentals, all available, and a fold-out poster that is available right now and ships within 7 days. The sneakers are still available. The Adultish sneakers are still available. Be sure to cop yours as well. Vinyl should be coming in very soon, as I mentioned, and the hats will be back in stock very soon too. T-shirts are also available. Cop your Adultish shirts if you haven't already. And yeah, I think that is all for the merch. But yeah, man, that's it for today. I'm going to get all the way out the way so I can get to other things. I got a lot going on today. Got to rehearse at some point. Got to take the kids to swimming lessons. Yada, yada, yada. Grown folk stuff, out here doing my adult stuff. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I appreciate y'all per usual. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Again, thank y'all for all the support. You know what I mean? I can't stress that to y'all enough. Hold on one second. Let's get to some of these other comments before we go. Reed Richards with vocals and also instrumental is insane. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it, fam. Got my hat and it's so damn fly. I'm glad you're digging the hat, man. Shout out to Tone Deaf, who I feel like is the official model of the hat, because I see so many videos pop up on my timeline of Tone, and he always has his Adultish hat on, which is dope. It's dope to see. All right, Stratus, take it easy, man. Take care, Mike. It's good to see you up in here. Thanks, man, for supporting. All right, so family, I'm gonna get all the way out the way. Before we go, I figure it's only right, since we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. I was supposed to play it sooner, but I'm gonna end the show with my tribute to hip hop, my favorite things. All right, so on that note, y'all be well. Take care, everybody. Peace. Have a great weekend. Mighty definition, y'all. Sounds so beautiful. Let's do it.
MCs kick rhymes to beats or acapella. Rap artists tagging year round through all weather. Our culture's evolving, what next will it bring? Hip-hop is one of my favorite things. DJs, B-boys, and B-girls are so clever. They call it a fad, but we're hip-hop forever. And we love our culture, to it we shall cling. Hip-hop is one of my favorite things.
Hip-hop culture, a wicked life that's preyed on by vultures to fatten up their pockets. Some really thought they stopped it, then called it the fad or to the bad. We get this in our wicked life. Son is a tripper, and you live, beat what I say tonight. Started in the South Bronx, but the brother here's from Merlin. Home of mama sauce and MCs who be shining like Sterling. That's a whole nother song, moving along back to the subject. HIP to the HOP, man, I love it. It consists of 4 elements, some say 5 or more. Didn't know that till now, what the hell you rhyming for? There's breaking and rapping, DJing and grab. I add, don't be boxing, cause I practice that craft like. It's crucial when you spit and rhyme to the cipher with a beat that's quite useful. But then there was breaking, so you can stop that quite early. Cause I didn't like the idea that dance moves could hurt me. But still find popping and locking to be mad nice. Now all my energy is used only to grab mics and rock on to the dawn of early morning. I still do graffiti, just took my mom's warning and kept it on the paper to avoid central booking. But to hell with jail, I was more scared of butt whoopings. Now I'm a grown man with hip hop, still wake up in me. Love it for life, even if I never see 1 penny.
MCs kick drums to beats or acapella. Rap artists tagging year round through all weather. Our culture's evolving, what next will it bring? Hip-hop is one of my favorite things. DJs, B-boys, and B-girls are so clever. They call it a fad, but we're hip-hop forever. And we love our culture too, if we shall cling. Hip-hop is one of my favorite things.
Ignorant man made a statement that's so wrong when he said rap music was an oxymoron. Most of us don't sing, some curse when they're rapping, and some of us do sample while others utilize scratching. But it's still all music, stop judging and listen. Some of the joints you don't like were the best songs ever written. No genre that was conjured has accomplished what rap has. Filled with brilliant poets who you thought just rap fast, and that's sad. Only heard when using curse words, racial slurs, and calling women out of their name, and they claim that our graffiti is a real art like they rule the art world. Please tell me, when did this start? Art is opinion, only techniques have guidelines. Smarter than what y'all thinking, I haven't even reached my prime. Don't try to diss breaking, cause I find that quite funny. Peep you in Times Square, giving breakers y'all money, cause you know you love it from our clothes to our lingo. That's why most trends start with us blacks and Latinos. Don't take that as a diss, cause I'm telling you that it's not. All kinds of people have contributed to hip-hop, making my culture more beautiful than it's ever been. Hip-hop heads worldwide, from Japanese to Mexican, taking me places I've never been. Peace to the veterans, swear on my life it will never end.
MCs kick drums to beats or acapella. Rap artists tagging year round through all weather. Our culture's evolving, what next will it bring? Hip-hop is one of my favorite things. Whether I rock mics in the spotlight or remain underground, hip-hop will still be my favorite